So you need to take us back, Claudia, to the time of just before the pandemic. How did your business look like?
Yeah, just before the pandemic, I was a typical offline business, running offline sewing classes. I had a tiny little fabric store, and we were sewing like pieces people were ordering with us. So I was doing it okay, but not really quite a lot of money. So it was enough to survive and have one employee, but it wasn't really prospering or something like that. And then the
Yeah,
pandemic hit, as most of you know, quite a lot in Italy. So first of all, I was forced to close down offline sewing classes. Then we had to close down the shop, and then we had to close down the sewing part. We weren't allowed to do any work at all anymore. So everything was really on a close down. And I had no idea how long this would take. And my employee, of course, um, I had to pay them too, still to pay, even though there was like a program from the States I could get to pay them, but this wasn't really an option. And so I was thinking, okay, I have to do something and we have to find something to still get money in. And there was already some people I had on my Facebook page, followers, a few followers. And of course, people had time back then. They were all stuck home.
yeah. It was a great time to have online business.
Yes, yes, exactly. And I was already aware of you and following you for quite a while. I don't know since when. And then you offered like a small, tiny workshop, and I thought, yes, I'm going and give it a try. That was
Yeah,
like in end of March or April 2020. Yeah.
yeah.
And since
We
then, it was a big roller coaster, big change of everything.
yeah, everything changed, literally
Yes,
everything. Yeah.
yes, everything changed.
You started off by creating your first online course, and uh you said you had an email list, but it was kind of dead, or
Yeah, the
yeah.
email list was that I fully erased it. There were probably 300 contacts on it, but they were dead. I never used them. So I deleted everybody and started from all over, from zero,
From
from
zero.
zero. Yes. But I had a
How
few Facebook followers.
Yeah, okay. So where did you find the first people to join your free trainings?
Um, for the free trainings, it was like, I'm not sure if I was running Facebook ads. I
Not
don't
yet.
think so.
No, I
No, I
think so.
no. I I was, but still I was around on Facebook and spreading the word that I'm doing a online sewing class for free. And of course, there are several Facebook groups about sewing and all different interests. There are tons of Facebook groups. Just
Yeah.
go there and ask the admins if it's allowed. There are even groups where it's wanted to have
Yeah.
ads and recommendations. So I, I was searching Facebook groups and told people, yes, I'm doing this and that. I'm running a
Yeah.
free sewing class, and I had around 900 sign-ups for the first webinar. Yes,
900 signups. Yeah.
900 sign-ups. Yes,
Yeah.
and
Amazing.
I asked my followers and my on my personal profile to spread the word and share the postings
Yeah. And
and
they
tell their
did.
friends. Yeah,
Yeah.
and they did. Yes,
Yeah.
they did.
When you have a good offer, then people are happy to share it. And so you had 900 signups. And but not just that, you also went out and sold without the free training.
Yes, yes, I did. Since I already had some customers from the offline sewing classes, I reached out to them in person
Yeah.
and said, hey, here, that's my offer. I'm going to start going online, and reached out personally. And I had like within 3 days, I had 15 sign-ups for a paid course.
Yeah. Yes.
That's how I paid for momentum.
Yeah. Exactly. So within 10 weeks, you sold actually 2 courses. First, the one that you just found people by direct message them, and then the other one that you sold through a webinar. So 15,000 in 10 weeks. What then you realized that this was the thing, this online business, it was going to work?
Yes, it was like, okay, it's this is something that could work out. There are people out there who are willing to do something like that. Before I had also those, like Judith always says, like this mind facts about who is doing online sewing classes. But of course, there are so many people who don't have access to offline courses. Still now, there are so many people living in rural areas or living in an area where no offline classes are offered, or having kids, or cannot leave the house because they have to take care of other family members. So there are always people who are really happy about having an online offer. So that was when I realized, okay, that's something which could really works out and makes it also easier for me and to stay with my kids, being at home and working from home. So, and that was the time when I said, okay, I have to go on, work on, and move on, and yes, build a serious, bigger business.
Yes, and that's when you joined Momentum.
Yes.
And it really took off from there. You very quickly built a 6-figure online business online. When did you start to think that the offline, that you would maybe never go back with offline sewing courses?
Actually, I never did. I never
No, you
went
never
back.
did.
No,
But when did
no.
you realize you would not go back?
I think it was like a half a year later after starting, because I realized the offline courses were already quite exhausting because it went on the whole day and I had to take a lot of stuff with me. And I always needed another day after to recover from doing this. So I really thought, okay, this is going more easy. It's more, I mean, I can deliver a sewing class in 2 hours, 3 hours, or something like that, and I'm still okay after that.
Yeah.
So I'm just running one sewing class per year for the kids in my local village. That's it, no offline sewing class anymore. And it was like about half a year later after I started. So
you realized you probably
beginning of fall in 2020. Yes.
Yeah. But you still had your offline store with fabrics.
Yes, I had. Yes.
Yeah. When did you start to think about that that's maybe not what you want to have?
Yeah, it was like, I guess it was like in 2021. But it was like kind of my baby, and I was always a little bit hesitant. And you always told me I should close it down, I should close it down, I should close it down. And it was like it was a process. I started before I had fully open all days, Monday to Saturday, all the day long. And then I started closing it down partially, first on a Wednesday, then on a Tuesday, no opening on a Saturday. And then I was like, okay. And finally in 2022, I fully closed it down.
Yeah. And how did that feel? Was it like some grief or a relief?
It was both. It was both. It was like, it was my baby. It was like, okay, now the baby is dead. However, it was at first was the feeling there's never ever going to become any money in because it felt like closing down the whole business. And it was like for, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks, I had that feeling there's never ever coming any money in again. But then since then I had more time to focus on online, and now it's a really big relief because I couldn't run the shop anymore. No,
probably
it's not possible.
It's for a long time.
No, it's not possible anymore because that would have to do with somebody else. And it's never, if somebody else is doing it, it's never you anymore. So it's yes, it's and especially now since I'm with my kids on my own, it's quite nice because I can be at home and the kids coming from school and I'm not stuck at the store. Yeah. So yes, it's definitely a relief.
What do you say? Because we are talking to all kinds of people with different businesses. It's a coincidence that we have a couple of sewing businesses, but a lot of people think like, oh, somebody else is already doing it, or there's so many people already doing it. Who am I to do it as well? Like, you can find these videos on YouTube, and there's so many teaching this already. Like, why should someone buy from me? What do you say to that?
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty easy. Look at my tiny village. Even there are 3 bakeries. So there are enough customers for everybody, and everybody is different. So all the other providers of sewing classes are totally different to me. And I'm not really comparing to YouTube or any other instructional videos, because there are always people who need more than just an explaining video. They need proper help. They need help with their machine. They need more explanations. They need to ask you some things, and they want to have fixed appointments. They need accountability and all that kind of things. So there will always be people who want to buy. Always, always, always. Of course, I'm not a fit for everybody. I don't want to be a fit for everybody. And but there are always people who are willing to, they like the group, they like the spirit, they like the fabrics I'm sending out. And that's nothing you can get with a pure YouTube video.
No, people like to be a
No.
part of a community, a part of a class.
Yes.
Step by
Yes.
step. Yeah.
And they like to ask questions. And you cannot ask YouTube.
No.
No?
You're not gonna get enough.
No.
Well, since those 2 courses you created in 2020, you have created lots of courses, and people can buy from you, individual courses or bundles of master classes. How have your prices developed over time? If you compare it to the offline courses you offered and the courses you sell now online, what's the price difference?
Yeah, that's a huge price difference. Offline courses it's always a bit special here in northern part of Italy, because we we got support from the state for running courses. So people paid for a whole day course. They paid something like 70 euro, so almost nothing. And then I started with a price around my first online course. I think it was like 199, something like that, including fabrics. And now they are up to 400 for about 4 to 6 weeks, including fabrics, depending on the material I'm sending out. Yeah, but I definitely raised the price. And from time to time, I get a notice from other people: your courses are too cheap, you should ask for more. And that's what I did this December, the all-you-can-sew offer. Yeah. And I was watching at my statements what my best 5 customers paid on average in a year for sewing classes. It was like the 5 best was an average on 1,500 euros they spent on sewing classes with me. And I doubled the price and asked for 3,000. And all you can sew, all classes are definitely, if they buy each separately, it's much more worth. It's around 6,000. But there were people buying all those classes, and I'm really happy. I'm looking forward to work with them. And I have some more ideas I put in, and I'm really happy to work with those people. And they are my best customers. They are really passionate about it. It's fun to work with them, and they really appreciate my work.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so if anybody comes along and says, well, you can't charge more for hobby courses sewing, you can.
Yeah, yes, you can. And it's also the audience changes. If you ask for more money, you get people who are more into sewing, who are more dedicated to sewing, who are not always complaining. I don't deal anymore with lots of complaints. So they are more trustful. It's much more fun to work with those people instead of the people who are really going for the cheap, because they are all the time complaining. They are never happy. You can do what you want, and So I prefer to work with those people who really want to make progress.
Yeah, and exactly. There's a client for every price. And actually, when you charge higher prices, you typically get better clients.
Yeah, and it's much more fun to work with those people.
Yeah.
Yes. So
you have been able to massively grow your business, grow your revenue. Did you imagine any of this in 2020?
No, never ever.
It's amazing. I think a lot of people do not realize that you can make multiple six figures and even up to $1 million with sewing courses. But how has this changed your life personally?
Personally, it has changed quite a lot, the life. Before I was really stuck at home. I was a typical mom at home, stuck to my kids, and now I'm traveling quite a lot. I'm providing for my kids. I can pay for education for the kids, everything I would like to pay for. I'm not anymore the mom stuck at home. I'm really outgoing. I quite a lot of changed. Yes, my private life changed massively, and I love that I learned so many new things. I met so many new people, interesting people. I made new friends, and that's really something I really love. I don't feel stuck anymore in the middle of the mountains. I wrote two books.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wrote two books.
Wrote
The
two
third
books.
is coming. The third is coming.
Yeah, and bestseller and more bestsellers on the way.
Yes. I never could imagine having two bestsellers. So but it happened. Yeah.
Well, because you took a bet on yourself. You
Yes.
went on the online business journey.
Yes, and then big companies are now reaching out to me, ask for co-working and working with them together, all that kind of things happening. And the longer I'm running the online business, the more opportunities open up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's amazing, Claudia. And you're inspiring so many who would
follow
in your shoes and do something similar, even if it's not sewing. It could be anything else, drawing or listing.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
It can be everything. And it's just, give it a try. Of course, there are things not working out. That's always happening. But there's always a way to figure out or try new things and find a way to move on.
Thank you for sharing, Claudia.
Yes.
Thank you for
You're welcome.
It's always great to talk to you. Thank you.